Like, you know, like some of these, like even new singers, they've got 1 or 2 songs. Sometimes they won't even come and say hello to you
Wow.
because they've got an ego. They got a chip on their shoulder that, yeah, I'm this new kid, and oh yeah, you lot are the you know, you lot are the old schoolers.
Really?
Yeah, like some
Wow.
some people are like that. I'm not gonna mention no names, but I've
Mm.
seen that. I've
Mm.
seen that, and I think, okay, fine, fair play, man. You carry on. You know, let's see if you're still around in 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing it now. You're on your high right now. You've
Yeah.
got one record out, but mate, you're only as good as your last record, mate.
Yeah.
You might have 1 record, 2 records. Your third one is a flop, mate. You're gone
Wow.
because this industry is so cutthroat, and nowadays it's even more, bro. It's even more difficult because some people now, their songs are bigger than them
Mm.
because of the internet and Spotify and all the digital world. Like, you know, like back in our day, it was like they wanted to see us. They wanted to see because they bought into the artist.
Mm-hmm.
You'd go and you'd get the CD and the tape and you'd open it and you'd see the pictures and read the inlay story. I remember writing a story
Mm.
about how I felt about releasing this album.
Wow.
You don't see that now.
Mm.
You don't get to read into what the artist is about, where he's come from, and what this means to him.
So there's no emotional attachment.
There's no emotional attachment with no artist like the ones that you. I mean, all right, unless they have gone super big,
Yeah.
right? That's different. Like people like AP and they become like phenomenons. You know what I mean? They're on a different level. But like if you've just got like 1 record out and it's done okay, and you've got an ego from it, you need to watch that. You know, you need to watch that because you need to check yourself because, you know, tomorrow somebody else will come in and replace you in a second if they get a bigger record than yours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that that plays a big part in longevity. You know, when people's ego takes over, they think they're all that and everything. You know, they will the ones that will realize that, you know what, you need to build and you need to keep your head down and you need to be humble in this industry and you know, like connect with people like on a vibe, on a nice genuine vibe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because people will connect with people that they like. That's what it's come down to now. If they don't like you, they're gonna say, I don't care what your song's like. You're an act. You're you know,
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z. And that's what's happened to a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
in the industry, man.
What do you think of what did you think of Sidhu Musawala?
Sidhu was like a little brother, man. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Sidhu was wicked, man. Sidhu, and I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning, I wasn't really into his stuff because I've never really been into Punjabi rap, so I've never really been a fan of it. But as time went on, I did start liking some of his stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not talking about liking his stuff after he passed away. I'm talking I actually started liking it before because there was a lot of people that didn't like him all the way through. But when he passed away, they were, oh yeah, Sidhu, Sidhu, and I'm like, whatever, whatever.
What does go on behind the scenes in terms of like a lot of people said that he had a lot of haters. There was other music artists in India who um used to hate it with them when his tracks used to come out, and then there was so much competition which I couldn't understand. It's like I
Mm-hmm.
thought, isn't it about he's one of like your work colleagues almost, like behind the scenes, like he's got a good song on, he's doing something good, he's putting more spotlights into the industry. If I bring
No, it's
something out,
you know what? Look, each individual artist has their own, you know, their own vibe, and it's about them, right? It's about them, and it's yes, we're putting stuff out into the industry, but they're focused on themselves. But it's how you put yourself out there. This is what I'm saying. Is like stay humble, right? You can focus on yourself and work on yourself and put yourself out there, but you got to remain humble doing it because that's when people will connect with you, right? If you work on yourself, put yourself out there, and you come with that ego
yeah.
and say it's just all about me, I'm the man, I'm this, I'm that, they'll be like, yeah, all right, mate. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And I think that's why people didn't like him so much as well. Like sometimes that he came across a little bit like that, but he was a very humble guy at the same time. But
very.
when he stepped on stage, he did become that. He had this persona of,
Mhm.
I am the man.
Where do you draw that line? Because I was
Look,
once.
that was his vibe. That was his vibe. That was his style, right? And you had to respect it to a certain extent. It is, and I guess it maybe came from the fact that he's been around people that have had that vibe. So he's had to come out like that as well. Do you know? So you can't knock him for it. You've just got to go, well, you know what? That was him.
Mm-hmm.
And people respected him for that. They said, you know what? He's real. He's keeping it real in his own way, you know, because he's been surrounded by artists that he's seen doing that as well. And now he's stepped in and his songs are getting bigger. They're all hating on him. But you know what? If you got haters, that means you're doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get haters unless you're doing something right.
After that happened, did it not make you a little bit afraid because you perform in India that somebody could just openly spray some
No,
bullets at you?
no, not at all. I mean, my industry is different. I'm not in the rap scene. I'm not, and I've been doing this for so long now, you know. And I've always navigated away from any hatred or any like. I'm not that guy. You get me? I'm not in the rap scene. I don't come across as like a gangster and that. You know, I've got friends that are gangsters, but you know, we chill and we like, you know, they're like, Juggy, you're good, man. No one gonna touch you. You get me? You're cool. You're good. And you know, that's okay. That. I'm good with that. You know,
Yeah.
I've got my people, and I'm cool, and you know, I just do my thing. You know, I don't put myself out there in a certain way. I just connect with everybody. I treat people with respect. I treat people the way I want to be treated.
Yeah.
You know, if you give me shit, I'll give it back to you. Simple as that. And if you treat me nice, if I treat you nice, I'd expect you to be nice to me. Right? It's quite simple, isn't it? And that's what I've done, and that's why I've built really nice relationships with everybody in India. You know, with all the promoters, and that's why I'm still getting booked today.
Are you allowed to share what sort of bracket that you get paid for performances out in India?
In India, we do charge considerably more than what we do here. So everybody in India is in brackets of like there's mad money being made in India, right? I'll give you an example. People like Badshah and stuff like that are charging like 100 grand a show.
Wow.
Yeah, a 1 crore plus.
Wow.
You know, then you've got people that have been around, and these are like they're on the top of the game right now. And then you've got people charging 40, 50. We come under 15, 20, and it's good. I'm happy with that, right? If I had come out now as Rishi Rich Project or as Juggy D right now, and I was at the top of my game, I could probably be charging 70, 80, maybe even 100, maybe more than 100.
Wow.
But for being in the industry for 20 plus years and making like 15 to 20,000 a show in India, that's very, very good money. We might not always close at that, but that's what we go out at.
Yeah.
And that's good money, you know. So, you know, I'm blessed. I'm happy, you know, but money's not everything. You know, I've blown a lot of money over the years, you know. I've been, like I said, ups and downs, and I've now come to a point in my life where I'm comfortable. And I want out of life things that money can't buy. And that is peace, love, and happiness. Money can't buy that.
What's been your biggest purchase?
I've got all the nice things that I want. I got nice watches. I can't wear them now. London, I put them away, you know. But you know, when I go to a show and I'm with my security, or if I'm in Delhi, or if I'm in Dubai, then I'll take them with me and I'll wear my nice things. I have property. I have nice car, not lots of it, but enough to give to my kids, leave something to them. And I'm always still doing stuff, you know. We've got the rehab center now. That's a business. We're doing some for charity. But like I said, it's not just all about the money for me. It's about building something, building a legacy, having something to give to your kids. You know, it doesn't have to be millions, but just enough to give them a good start in life. And I'm still working on that. You know, you never stop working, right? You consistently are going to keep building. So the more I do now is the more I can leave for my children when the time comes. But I'm happy. That's the main thing, you know. I'm happy. So that's what is more important to me, man. Is just having peace and having freedom. Freedom of being able to pick and choose what I do things if I get paid enough to do it, and not doing it if I don't want to do it. And that's a nice place to be in, I guess, man.
100.
You know what I mean?
Juggy, one of your kids come running up to you and say, "Daddy, I want to be a singer now. I'm going into the Lion's Den. I'm doing it."
Yeah.
What advice are you giving to your child?
Do that. Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I tell them that all the time. Every single one of my kids, I say to them all the time, I said, anything you want to do, let me know. Because you have to let them flourish in what they want to do. You don't know what they're going to be good at, right? but it's got to come from them. I can't say to them, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, I want you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very, you know, you can start with kids